How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Aftercast, episode 27, where we talk about everything and anything Transformers or, 80s, 90s toys, whatever it may be. And I'm your host, Victory Saber 77. If you guys want to shout out where everyone can find you, we'll start off with Golden Boy Charles.
That's bullcrap. That's such bullcrap.
I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Optimus4Perez.
And Chris?
You can find me on YouTube at Barb Prime Games and good old Facebook. So, hi.
And Dakota?
Okay. First off, before we went live, we were talking about the body pillows, right? You mean to tell me there's a black Arachnia body pillow? Anyways, you can find me at Primal Sabbath.
Golden?
On everything.
Was that what the Minerva thing was leading to?
No.
Hopefully not.
No. Anyways, I'm Dalton. You can find me on YouTube at Daltonians TF Reviews and on Twitter at Daltonians TFs95 and Twitter 95.
Twitter 95.
Twitter 95. What? Okay. And special guest Derrick. If you want, you can shout out where people can find you.
Yes, I'm Derrick, and you cannot find me anywhere, so don't even try.
There you go, people.
And then we have our extra special guest, Josh Perez.
Yep, we'll get him.
Oh.
He's last.
What?
Jay.
That's not alphabetical
Jay.
at all.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at NemesisJazz13.
And we have two Joshes here, but Josh, G1 Hexatron, you're next.
Like those.
All right. You can find me Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at G1Hextron and my Facebook page, The G1Hextron.
And our last special guest, Josh.
Just look up Dimooch. I'm Dimooch on probably everything.
Cool.
Is there a credit in the comics, too?
It should be. I want it to be.
Right on. Oh, we lost Charles. So today's topics and such, we're just going to, if Derrick wants to tell us some stories. He was telling us about a idea for Minerva and more character. Or no, who had the Minerva idea?
I did, but he had the story.
But
No.
we'll wait on
Let's
your
talk
idea
about
there.
Nightbeat.
Nightbeat. There we go.
Yeah.
I had an idea for a Minerva body pillow.
Well, let's body
And
pillow.
it's going to be really, really, really sexy. And
Extremely soft.
Extremely soft.
very silky.
Oh man. Oh.
Just evolved right from the get-go.
There goes my Super God Master Force. So. Picture here. But yeah, you had an idea for Nightbeat?
Oh yeah, we were talking about the VodCon exclusive Nightbeat that was so hard to get, and I thought it'd be cool. I've had an idea for a little while now about doing. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the Minerva that was hard to get, right? Did I say that right? Anyway, I thought it'd be cool if we could do maybe convince Pete or something to get a Nightbeat, a female Nightbeat, and then I always wanted to kind of picture her like a Batgirl or Nancy Drew kind of character. So it'd be kind of an alternate animated take on that.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, it would be. You have yourself almost like a Charlie's Angels thing going. You just need another one in there.
Yeah, and Chromia and whoever else.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Dalton, what was your idea for Minerva?
Well, since we're getting a Nightbeat figure and an RC figure, might as well just alter the face on the Nightbeat head and put it on the RC mold, but give it a roof with the light bar and everything.
Okay. You're talking the
seems like
RC
an
that we're getting in the
expensive
Generation 5?
Yeah.
Oh, with a roof on it, though. A futuristic-looking doctor's car?
Future.
Pretty much.
Wait a minute, mine's from an RC mold too. You just ripped off my idea.
That's what he does.
Just kidding.
Oh, gosh.
He's still
It's better than using the jazz mold that we were originally going to get for a female character.
At least it's like a Porsche looking You know, that's why they probably did that. It makes sense.
God, it
But that
would've
jazz
looked
figure's a
so
little bit big
Yeah.
Hmm.
for a female.
You know, it's probably time that they just do a straight up original mold, not
Yeah.
Minerva, because we've never had one here. It should just.
Yeah.
And we are getting a lot more female figures lately, so you know, fingers crossed.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting that we are getting a lot. But yeah, I would love to see a Minerva.
3 in a year. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
3 whole girls.
And finally a G1 RC. I mean, that only took 30 years. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I don't even think it's like. Do you even tell Hasbro, hey, you know what? You deserve a pat on the back. It's more like 30 years. Well, not exactly 30 years, but you know, talking 86. So.
Yeah.
28 years. So.
Yeah, I think the fans are ready. They're probably like, yeah, they're ready. We'll make the RC figure now. So
Yeah, and it looks like they. I mean,
Yeah.
they had earlier stages that were not as G1-y too, so they really went for it.
You know, up until then, the closest thing we got, and by far the best, was the RC from Animated. That was like the closest thing we got.
yeah, I like that
Cool.
figure.
Yeah.
I still need it.
What? Yeah.
I haven't been able to get my hands on it yet, so I'm still trying to decide if I want to do full box and carded stuff or if I'm willing to buy loose stuff. So still trying to figure that out.
But you're gonna open it anyways, though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I just get it
Yeah.
loose.
Some of them though, like my Blur is all, his joints are all loose, you know, flappity. So I wondered, like, maybe he would be better to buy boxed.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Thinking of it, whenever I look, that Blur that's got to be the best Blur because it really. When you look at it, you're like, oh, that's Blur. Like, there's no doubt about it. You know, not that the other ones aren't good as well or as good, but that Blur, I'm talking about, like, on any line, that you're just like, you know, out of all Blurs, who could represent if you only, you know, we're one of those collectors where you're like, all right, well, I already have an Optimus Prime, so I don't need to buy, you know, different ones or a Hot Rod. This is the Hot Rod from my collection. That's the Blur. You know, he looks great.
Even the animated Hot Rod was, just right up there on par, you know? Wow.
Yeah, I like the animated wreck car. that was great.
But as much as I like the animated Blair, I think I like the Cheetor version of that.
Oh yeah.
A little bit better, but you know, I'm not biased or anything, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I think that, you know, I really think our, like, the leader Megatron and that Grimlock can stand up to any other Megatron Grimlock toy that's made, even now.
Yes.
They're still, like, I don't know, Megatron's so big and chunky and nice and looks like Megatron, and I don't know.
And I love the alt
I am
mode.
a little biased, but
The alt mode, it was perfect for him.
yeah.
And having the swords and the fusion cannon and the amount of articulation you got, the look. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we finally got a little bit closer to getting a Super Megatron toy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, also, I think one of the best ones that, like, if you're trying to sell animated to someone, you hand them that prow, and just look, it's a bike that's awesome. I mean, just
that was all Alex Kowalski, who was the Takara designer. He came over early on with the Hasbro team, and he's nuts. He thinks in pieces of stuff. You know, like, he sees how everything moves, and it's just crazy because he did like. He did that Prowl. He did Prowl. He did the first Bumblebee. He did Sentinel. He did RC. He did Black Arachnia. So a lot of pretty nice ones, I think. He is, because my original Prowl had the the wheels were on the shoulders, like shields.
Okay.
And he had this transformation that was it was made of magnets, and he filmed it in stop motion. And so we kind of just rearranged some of the stuff to fit that pattern, and then what was the other? Oh, he was Lockdown too. He had that idea for how to make a deluxe character, super tall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's
was cool.
awesome.
Well, Lockdown, that's the one that I'm just like, all the rest of them I can kind of figure out as far as transforming, and maybe if I just stare at the directions for a second, then I've got it pretty much. I'm set. Lockdown, man, I'm out there like, all right, well that's done, and redoing it, so it's a little bit more difficult for me.
Yeah.
Time that I've done it, so.
Yeah, the engineering behind that was awesome. Just to see a deluxe size figure go to a Voyager class almost in robot mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
And take no kind of like gappy flaws or anything like that in the torso or various other places.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Somebody said Wreck-Gar earlier too, and I always thought he was like maybe the most on model of all the figures, because he's just like even the car mode has the wonky lines on the grill and stuff. Just looks crazy good.
He just fit the character so well, just being just hodgepodge of all this stuff stuck together, which was just like one of the best renditions of Wreck-Gar. So, but everything that came out of the animated line was just fantastic. I mean, if you want something that looked exactly what you saw on the screen, you got it. Yeah. And the transformation was on par. And the only thing I wish that we could have had was some of these like activators and other characters that we saw, like Cliff Jumper, and or maybe got more of the Seekers in toy form.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great.
What do you think about those the Buster and Trench being like activator size and not really deluxe size? Does that bug you guys, or are you into them anyway?
The third party Mecha Ideas ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna pick those up, but I guess the size, to answer your question, I guess the size is fine, but I don't think I'm gonna pick up any like third party offerings of animated, just because I wanted to just stick with what's actually officially licensed. I'm getting kind of out of the third party stuff.
Oh, I'm getting the Mario and Luigi. Like that's done.
Yeah, I wish they were just a tad bit bigger, just to fit and scale more. But
yeah, I kind of feel the same way. Like they're pretty nicely done, but I wish they were a little, almost like a Hydro Dive Bumblebee size. I think is a good.
Yeah, that scout size works really good.
Yeah. That's other stuff. Like I wish we would have gotten a Blackout here.
Oh yes.
The line and stuff like that, instead of having it Takara only. And like the Jetwing Optimus and such, but still, at least there was a toy made, so that's cool. But here's a question. I don't know. It's whatever. But the toy of Starscream obviously is, a lot of people get them confused at times that I've talked to, as like Thundercracker. I mean, why did Hasbro go with the bluish?
It was kind of a dumb decision. I fought it. I really didn't like it. And it was like they thought that Starscream's colors were too close to Megatron's, and if they were on the shelf at the same time, which they never were, that'd be confusing or something. Well, and they packaged Megatron in robot mode too, and so it was just kind of a, I don't know. And I thought the Takara one maybe would fix the color a little bit. It was even more blue.
It was more like Thundercracker.
Yeah, that would still be nice to get too. An actual animated color scheme of Starscream.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you for having me, first of all. But is animated the first series that the character of Lugnut was developed? And if so, how do you feel seeing that he's now like being accepted as part of? Is he now retroactively G1? Like one of those characters that's so popular that he's pretty much done crossed over to the main line, because there is like a Universe Ultra class?
Yeah, just the overall Chug Voyager class.
Yeah, he's been chuggerized.
There you go. It's a good term.
I think it's great. I love seeing that stuff live on. as long as it's respectful to what's come before, you know, which is what I try to do. Um, but you know, like if I pay Alex Milne to freaking draw versions of my character in his style, so like I love seeing that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so yeah, I like the idea of them being retroactively put in G1. You know, if that's what's happening, it's cool.
I hope the same thing happens to Knockout.
Yeah, I know a lot of people want Knockout in IDW at least.
I see they did the same with Lockdown, based on the Revenge of the Fallen design.
That has nothing to do with Lockdown at all, though. It's like
really?
I think so. I hated that design. I think it's like the vehicle mode has nothing to do with Lockdown. I don't know. I wasn't a fan.
Vehicle mode doesn't scream bounty hunter. Doesn't scream.
Well, I'm talking the Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh yeah, no, that one. Yeah. I do like that one definitely.
Yeah.
Because that one, you know, if he had looked more like that in the movie, that would have been awesome. It's like,
oh yeah,
that was a nice translation into that style. They did a great job.
And it's sad that they had that design and they decided to just ignore it too.
Yeah.
It's like right there for you guys. You could have reissued the toy and everything.
And they're like, well, what do you want? Bumblebee's yellow. That's enough.
I got one more question, and I'll try not to bother you no more, sir, but how does one get to be a toy designer for Hasbro?
I don't know. I didn't do toy design, so I think Eric told me that he went through like product design and stuff. I can't remember what school he went to.
Oh, so were you more on the lines of just
I just do animation stuff. So yeah, so
you've done some coloring stuff too, though. I saw in some stuff.
So how do you break into the animation?
Oh, I came out here was in '99, and I had a friend who was working at Spumco at the time. They're the guys who did Ren and Stimpy.
Okay.
He got me an internship, so I went and worked for them for free for a while, and then kind of got to know people in the industry and stuff, and then I weaseled my way into Warner Brothers, and then after that was all good.
Okay, so you're in California?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Entertainment capital of America.
That's right.
I mean, more than likely, anything like that to do with working with someone, you're going to have to do some type of internship if you want to get your foot in the door anywhere.
Hasbro has internships too. I know one of my character designers, Do Hong, interned for Eric Siebenaler at Hasbro years before I hired her. So I think, and on the animation companies have internships too, but.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, I was going to ask Josh, how what have you been doing lately with your work? Because I know that let's see what it was. Not this past BotCon, but the one in Dallas from 2 years ago. I actually bought some work off you as well, and and had you sign it. I also had this book called Genesis, where it has like just nothing but artwork by you and some of the other guys, and like several of you guys signed that. So again, thank you for that. Even though I know you don't remember, being 2 years ago and meeting so many people. But what have you been working on lately, man?
It's mostly just been Robots in Disguise and more the meets the eye covers, and then like side projects. That's my life is so interesting. It's just been Transformers. Thankfully.
and then me trying to weasel Josh into coloring stuff of mine for free.
That's not all you have to do is say, "Oops, look at this line art," and then I'm.
Oops! I just dropped it on the internet.
Do you use a Wacom tablet for your coloring?
Yeah, I have a tiny. It's like it's a bamboo pen and touch. And that's what I use. One day I'll graduate to the big leagues and get myself a Cintiq or a Unova, whichever one. I hear the Unova's good. I'd like to get a Unova because I could save the money. one day.
Me too. But we use those at work. I can't use a tablet. It's too disconnected for me. I'm
Too
old.
awesome for a tablet.
I'm too old. I'm still drawing on Post-its.
I've heard that before. Some people say that they didn't like the tablet at first, but once they like, and I see that you definitely do have to practice because I tried to use one before and it was just it was horrible experience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It takes, but then Sarah uses a tablet too, right?
Yeah.
It's freaking sickening watching her color. It's
Wow.
it's amazing. She was just doing a live stream, coloring a drift cover, and it was just like, I don't know, just tears streaming down my face. Sarah's awesome.
Yeah.
Derrick, I got a quick question.
Yes.
As far as continuity goes, would you say animated is kind of like in its own, or would you think it'd be a stretch to say it could fit in with the G1 continuity? And the only reason I'm saying that is because of the beginning, how retro it was. You know what I mean?
The footage. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's part of the overall multiverse of Transformers. But it's its own reality.
I hear you. Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah. A lot of people asked that early on because they were kind of confused. It was, it was like half a joke putting that stuff in there, but half just we thought it kind of fit too. So
I think a lot of those designs could work really well for like Transtech. The whole thing that never was, and the Collectors Club touches on every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love the designs. If we were to ever get a Transtech set, I know I would just die for it to have a ton of animated and a few Prime designs kind of sprinkled in.
Well, that's what Blur is. Blur's a really weird homage because it's an homage that homages Transtech Cheetor, and then we made it into Cheetor, so that
it came full circle.
Exactly.
So I have one piece of the puzzle. Now I just need the depth charge and the Starscream and everything else that won't ever get made.
Shame about them.
Did you see that? Did you see that third-party lug nut they were gonna do?
Yeah, they have a depth charge and someone else out of it.
They have a Sky. Do they have it? No, not.
Yeah,
was it Straxus? No.
Yeah, Straxus, G-Axis, Skyquake, and Lugnut.
Dude, I would die for that depth charge. The depth charge out of it.
That's not a toy though. That's just a sketch that someone was doing.
Well, so they're kind of like polling on it right now. It's up for grabs, basically.
Yeah, they have the engineering done or something, but not the tooling. Is that, Josh? Is that based on? That's not based on Alex's Lugnut vehicle mode, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
It looks a lot like a Hunter Killer from Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's like I would totally accept that as Lugnut Cybertron mode,
Lugnut has the best looking colors though, in my opinion.
I wish
as far as the Transformers. The teal, the purple, the yellow and black, all meshed together so perfect. Got two of my favorite colors, so.
Yeah, they did his face silver in the mock-ups at least. I hope that doesn't last.
Yeah.
Somebody making smoothies?
It just goes
I'm gonna say it was our buddy Gary Chalk over here.
No, that was
actually I've been on mute, so
we just moved in here a while ago, so we don't have a mattress. We have an air mattress, so that was that.
Oh, that's much more disappointing than making smoothies.
Better than sleeping on the couch, I can tell you that.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, Derrick. Blitzwing for animated. Did you always want to have them schizophrenic? In a way, with the personalities?
I think so. I think that might have been a Hasbro idea that they brought in before we were on.
Really?
Yeah, the head designs I totally changed from what they had, but it was that Manny Face's idea. I think they brought it in. I think that was Eric. He had a lot of interesting ideas coming in. A lot of them we didn't use, but some of them we did.
Was there ever any plans to actually show like footage from what was his name? The guy that was the Magnus before Ultra. Oh my God! As much as I like that coloration, I can't think of his name now.
It's the guy in the Diaclone colors, right?
Yes, yes. I saw him in the book.
No, that was something that Jim and Bill added to the almanac that we never really. It wasn't really.
Never really explored.
No, and I don't know. I mean, it would have been cool to see who was Magnus before Ultra was, but I don't know. We really didn't have plans for it.
Needed some animated headmasters.
We did.
You did? Oh.
But they don't have heads. That's
oh.
Or just the headmaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a Master Force where it was like the headmaster would have a target master and a power master, and they would kind of do criminally things, take over robots and cars and stuff.
So I could see Powell being a power master.
Just yeah.
He's obsessed with power.
I love the idea of just turning into an engine too. That's so useless. Unless you're on something, it's like the worst transformation.
Yeah, but it would have been cool if he was going through the street and he just turns into an engine, pops himself onto a car, and he can take off and control it.
Totally. Exactly.
Yeah. So you can do an episode like that where he's just popping on all these different ones and maybe wrecking them or whatever. It's kind of like a Crimzeek, from G1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just causing havoc.
Yeah.
He's a cute little fella too. So. Poor guy.
Yes, poor guy.
He just wanted to have a little fun, so it wasn't his fault. Alright, what else you got for us, James? I don't want Dakota talking about no Beast Wars.
Animated Beast Wars, is that in the works?
Funny you should say that. No, it's not in the works. Don't forget everything I ever said about that.
Don't toy with my emotions. I'm a delicate.
You're gonna want to be my new best friend.
Cool.
There we go.
Well, we posed this question on the Cybercast, and we kind of talked about it before we went on air, but for Derrick and Josh, 80s, 90s, what, old school cartoon would you like to see come back, revamped, with either just a cartoon or have a toy series go along with it?
I know what Josh will say.
Yeah. Computer Warriors.
Computer Warriors?
Computer Warriors, if there was ever a toy line that was more relevant to now, where every kid has something digital in their pocket, Computer Warriors.
if ever it was relevant for a Pepsi can to transform into a helicopter.
I'm telling you, do you know how many times I go to any place with a food court and there are kids just sighing longingly at their unbased transforming Pepsi cans? Boy, I sure love this sweet soda. It would be better if there was a little guy hiding inside it, ready to start blasting viruses. And then they just cry heavy tears.
I know every time that it's dark and I need to grab a flashlight, I'm like, oh crap, I got one of those ones at work. If only it could transform.
I think that every time I'm looking longingly at a clock or a pencil sharpener. This device does what it's. No, I like that these do what they're intended to do, but I would really love it if they could turn into battle stations.
Battle armor.
Pencil sharpener is necessary for my job, but it doesn't transform into anything.
I'd be more of a pain if I had more of that stuff around me.
Or even think about the computer base, because now, because that was just basically the monitor was a big portion of that, and then you had
He's thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. See, now you can't really do it so much with the monitor itself, but you could do it with the tower base. You could have that transform.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention that you could have all these USB peripherals that you could plug into, like, oh, now it extends into a cannon, and this goes into this. And
What about a laptop?
yeah, you can make a laptop. You can make a laptop into a tank, probably. Into a tank or a jet.
But the little floppy disk that you transform them into jets for the guys to fly around. Now they're like all flying around on like little thumb drives.
Yeah, thumb drives.
No, see, that's what you do is you make the computer wire transform into a thumb drive.
All right.
That's like Inception.
It's just the guy, and then the thumb drive turns into like his cannon.
Yeah, well, what you do is he turns it'd be like kind of an ugly figure, but he turns to a thumb drive, you plug him into your computer, and now you can play some online game with this specific character in it.
I don't know, the Ravage thumb drive that they made was pretty nice.
Yeah.
I had that one, but then the actual mechanism started actually coming out of the figure.
No, that sounds bad.
Yeah.
So now he's just a figure on my shelf.
I think Trash Bag Bunch would be fun to come back.
What were that's not Garbage Pail Kids, right? What was that?
No. Those are the gimmick was it was a little figure. It was unarticulated, and it came in these little bags that had this, like, when you put them in water, they would dissolve into like this sludge, and then you would take your figure out. It was like
what?
It was
Like a lot of work.
weird concept.
I missed that. I completely missed that.
Yeah.
They were some pretty cool. They had some pretty cool ideas in that line. Like, I mean, the actual, like, let's waste all this crap and put it in water and turn into just stuff you don't want is kind of the actual characters are pretty neat.
Okay, now the question was, it has to be a cartoon show from the
Well, just
80s
something
or
from
90s.
the 80s or 90s that you
90s.
want to come back.
And it had to have had a toy line?
No, it doesn't have to have a toy line, or you
Okay.
want it to have a toy line, or just something that needs to be revamped.
I was
SWAT
thinking of
Cats.
that thing that
Radical
Josh
Squadron.
said.
That came up. SWAT Cats
That's
came
kind
up
of
already.
like
Say what?
SWAT Cats came up already.
Before we went
It
live.
did? Oh,
Yeah.
somebody else brought it up. Crap.
No, it's not. It's not a bad thing. It's like everybody was like, yeah.
And then they called them the Radical Squadron, but it was only two of them. I'm like, okay, squadrons mean one and more than one jet.
should have been duo, but
Yeah.
That's why it was radical, though. Like, it was so radical that there was only two of them.
Well, but at the same time, think of all the vehicles I had.
My friends were looking
They had a
crazy
squadron of
because I was-
vehicles, but not.
I think the only vehicle that the SWAT Cats had that I care about is the jet.
The jet.
So that's what
the
everyone
jet
remembers.
is
That's what
awesome.
everyone cares about.
Hey, they had the motorcycle too that could split away from the jet.
Oh, dude. Jay, why you gotta ruin it?
Because the motorcycle.
Oh man,
Yeah,
Mighty
I like
Max-
the
Mighty
Cyclotron.
Max came back. While we're talking about SWAT Cats, for some reason, Mighty Max came up in my head.
Like, you're going back to
Didn't
eBay.
they like eject with their seats and like use those as jetpacks and fly around with missiles and stuff?
Yep.
Mhm.
They did. They had.
Yeah.
I mean, they could do whatever they damn well
They
please.
wanted to with that jet.
Everything was built into that jet.
they
flew
can
out into space.
they don't even need parachutes because they're cats. So, I mean, they just they're good to go.
Clearly, this seems like a much more passionate issue than Captain Power was. I think
Yeah.
we may have to have a SWAT Cats episode in the future.
I like that Captain Power is coming back though.
What?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, they're doing a new show.
Yeah, Phoenix Rising. We talked about this last week.
Okay. No. I was just surprised that I didn't hear that there was actually a new show coming out. I thought it was speculation, but
Well, they've been talking
I
about
think
it for a
they're-
while.
I think
Okay.
these guys just kind of dreamed it up, and it's like in their minds.
We're having to share. We're having to share.
I was
The- the la-
surprised when that girl got killed, though. I was like,
We-
wow.
Yeah.
We drank some expired
Spoilers,
Surge.
guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the last little update on Phoenix Rising was like, I think It was either February of 2014 or November 2013 or something like that. So it's been a long time. It's been in the works for like 2.5 years.
Okay.
There's nothing radical about Captain Power.
I'm just gonna forget you said that.
Oh,
You didn't like the fact that the jet could actually like interfere with the TV show or something?
Yeah,
I'm gonna play
all
with
that good stuff.
I'm gonna watch the show and then I'm gonna play with my toys later.
The Captain Power training videos have some of the most gorgeous animation I've ever seen.
Oh,
yeah.
They have all that nice they have that nice 80s anime type crazy shading going on. And then of course if you're subject to epilepsy.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's just a '90s cartoon staple.
Oh
I think.
yeah, that's anything 90s would hit you in the face with color.
Oh yeah. I would love to have the Tick come back. Tick and Big Guy and Rusty. I like those when they're on
those would be great.
That was fun, yeah.
No mask?
Well, yeah, Mask. Yeah, I'd want
Mask
Mask.
is automatic.
Mask is just automatic.
Mask is a given, yeah.
Mask is a given, for real.
Yeah,
Given,
it totally
we don't
is.
need to talk about it no more.
You don't even have to say Mask.
There. Yeah.
It's on the list.
Yeah.
Mask can only come back if it's still Rob Paul doing what's his name? Jim Carrey's voice.
What? No, not that Mask.
We're not talking.
Mask. Not
Mask. Never mind. I was wondering why everyone was all excited about Mask. Then I remembered we're talking about transforming vehicles.
Well, they did have a cartoon of that Jim Carrey mask.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
So what
we weren't.
What if we give Jim Carrey a transforming vehicle and he's got his mask?
He's got a mask. There we go.
We call it Son of the Mask, but we abbreviate Mask.
Yeah.
Anybody remember Spiral Zone?
Yeah. I only remember the commercials though because they didn't have that show in my area, but I remember the toys and stuff.
Yeah, man. In my area, you had to wake up at like 6 a.m. in the morning to catch that show.
That was me in what was that Marvel block in the morning with like Gem and robotics. I had to get up so early.
Robotics. Oh man, I remember that.
That's going in my all Hasbro Weird Series pitch.
Where's my Grimdark Denver the Last Dinosaur reboot?
Speaking of dinosaurs, anybody here remember Dinosaurs?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I think that's a little late for me or something. There was an era when I didn't have it.
Billy Ames was the main kid in there, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah, from Charles and Charlie. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Dinosaurs was good.
That's a big talent.
Yeah, and then
A-list.
Tiger Sharks.
Tiger
Came out about the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say they had all these plans for Tiger Sharks and Silverhawks in the Thundercats reboot they just did recently, but then I don't know, that fell apart, I guess. I really liked that show though. It was really nicely done.
Oh yeah.
I was really bummed out when it got canceled.
What's Cartoon Network for you?
I would like to also see
the owner's decision actually. So not that either one of them.
Really?
Oh, I'm live on the air. I shouldn't say. They're wonderful places. You guys should like.
Where's my Grimdark Rubik's?
My name is Rubik.
I'd like to see. I think you brought this up as well. Air Raiders, because I collect some Air Raiders and some Starcom. Those guys are like in direct competition, but you working with Hasbro, we'll just go with the Air Raiders.
Never got that. Designs too.
Air Refinery. We never got that. Have you ever seen one?
I have the bad guys from that set though, because they were mailaways.
That's right. I saw those, and I was like,
"Oh man, I love those figures." I was so happy that they came out. They're so detailed for being so small too. It's really cool, and they were more like I liked them because they felt like you could play with them with Transformers. They were more in that scale almost.
Yeah, they got a little bit smaller than 2-inch.
Yeah,
and you can load them up. I mean, like I have all but the Command Center and the Man of War. So. Can never find one complete that has the ball. The ball's always missing. So.
I don't think I have the Man of War either. My neighbor had that. I have the
It's
Command
pretty
Center
big.
somewhere, though. Yeah, I remember.
Anybody remember Starios?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, they even had the base that I remember before I got
Thank
my Cobra Commander set, or the Terradrome. Before I got my Terradrome, my grandma picked it up at a garage sale. It was like this base that had this Cobra on it, and it was beige, and you could eject the Cobra out. And I mean, they were highly detailed little things. Or as far as that base, the base is the main thing to get. There was also like a red T-Rex too, which was kind of cool because it reminded me from Dinosaurs. But yeah, I remember those guys. You can pick them up for a pretty decent price. You can pick up that base for less than 50.
We used that snake base for Cobra too, like that.
And for Dakota, the Starios were like these little figures that were robots, and if you look at the head, you can see that there was actually a driver inside of it, and if you wind them up, like some would have like a drill on their chest, another would have like a buzzsaw. It would actually
God, I remember those now.
Okay.
Well, you said Dakota, you meant Dalton. I know, but we know.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
Oh God, I forgot all about those. Another thing to collect and put on the shelf.
I'm running out of shelves.
Okay. Yeah, this is the Victory Saver's wife, so it's not my fault.
Yeah, no, she's probably like,
It's not my fault.
Damn,
She heard you say something else to collect, and she's like cringed, started clamming up.
wondering why is my husband adding on to the house? Why do we have this now coming on?
I make it known now, not my fault.
Where are my children gonna sleep? Why is there no dining room table anymore?
Why are they outside the treehouse? What's going on?
Mrs. Saber has this like little notification thing that anytime someone in the house pulls up eBay, like her screen automatically goes to it. All right, what you doing?
Yeah.
Got your list of stuff
Same
that
thing
you already have.
Same thing at Toys R Us. It's like, oh, you're spending how much? I got a call. I have to call your wife. I'm sorry. What? Take my card. Take my money. Like the comic book shops, Toys R Us, some other little hobby places. I'm on.
He has to go out of state to buy anything.
Where are you, honey? I'm in California. Your arms don't reach this far. But yeah. There's so much stuff that I want to put out, but I don't have the room. Like Visionaries, I have all that stuff. I just like that. The dagger, just huge, but I don't have the room to put it anywhere. And I'm like, oh,
man, I love that show.
Man, I love that. I mean, as an '80s kid, that was fun. But just holograms, just to move the things back and forth. Oh, look, it changes. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's when I used to do that a lot with comics. Let's put the holograms in them.
Yeah.
Those are.
I just thought the figures were cool. I didn't really care about the holograms that much.
And
I like
then Tonka came out with their response with Supernaturals, and it's like, these can move their arms and maybe their legs, but that was pretty much it. The cool thing about the Visionaries was that Hasbro is they kind of use that G.I. Joe system. They're taller, but they're a lot more articulated and a lot more fun to play with.
Removable helmets, weapons, and then you got
even take the hologram chests off, the chest pieces off.
Yep, I always switched them around and stuff like that.
My God, how did you wind up with other people's powers? That's supposed to be their personal
my personal totem.
Yeah, it's like their Patronus, like it's their embodiment.
Yeah.
And you've just willy-nilly randomly switched them all around.
I did a tattoo back in the day. But yeah, I mean,
I remember
all those toys back in the day were just Centurions were a certain size, He-Man certain sizes, G.I. Joe. You put in Visionaries, Thundercats, then you throw in like Brave Star, which is another size toy. Trying to play with all these
things. Brave Star had some fun toys, man. I loved Brave Star toys.
Yeah.
And there was like the real Ghostbusters in Silverhawk size, which was like, why do these guys need to cross over? But Like they can't be the same size as the Thundercats. No.
Yeah.
You know what? As far as a cartoon, that Derrick, I think if you did this, put that little animated style on it, or what I would say, kind of the cuteness on it, sectars. Because those things were those are if you look at the '80s toy line, parents wouldn't buy them because they were so terrifying looking. I mean, they were just dark. Even the good guys looked evil, and it was.
Well, they were like creepy gloves and stuff too. You put your hand in it.
Yeah, they're the hand puppets. They had electronics and stuff like that. I mean, the detail on them is absolutely fantastic. It's there's a lot of metallic paint and stuff like that with them. But something that's so scary and evil, and now it's kind of got like a Teen Titan transform animated.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, to where now you have General Spider-Drax and his Spider Flyer. And now they're just adorable looking, but that they're mean. I'd like to see something like that.
Speaking of Teen Titans, Derrick, when you were approached to do Teen Titans, or I'm not sure how that came about. Are you a huge fan beforehand?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't a huge Titans fan, but I was a really big fan of the DC animated stuff that was going on at the time. Bruce and Justice League and everything. And no, what happened with it? I found like a cost report or something in a copier that had said Teen Titans on it, and I was like, oh my god, I got to get on this show. And I was on a Mucha Lucha at the time, just like the, this Flash show about little kid Mexican wrestlers that couldn't wrestle. It was.
I remember watching that.
I wanted to be on.
They were quite the inspiration to my junior high years. So.
It was all worthwhile. So I found that thing, and I knew Shane Glines from Spumco, so I emailed Shane Glines and asked him if he could get me a meet and greet or whatever with Glenn Murakami, and then he set that up, and I met Glenn, and I sort of just kept going and bothering Glenn all the time until he hired me. That was the only time Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that's the end.
So, Beast Wars I got started, you didn't start, that was me. Right in. So, we get to talk about the agenda.
We're going to talk about
I think it's funny that Beast Wars came up since I'm coloring a Beast Wars thing. It's not for IDW, though.
Oh, it needs to be.
I wish it was.
Any chance for a little peek there? Peek? Sneak peek? What you doing?
A little sneak peek. What is
Sorry, we go, and then I switch over, and it's just a picture of Bumblebee.
It's a new Bumblebee.
It's a Beast Wars Bumblebee, which needs to happen so bad.
So Buzzsaw, the Waspinator repaint.
Basically. There you go.
There you go. give him a Bumblebee-ish head.
That reminds me. That reminds me of I thought IDW was going to be doing some type of Beast Wars stories, but it was like an alternate reality Beast Wars story involving G1. Get this, Dakota. It was where imagine G1, Optimus, Megatron, when they crash land on Earth, instead of waking up in like modern day area, they actually woke up like a few years later during the prehistoric age. So whereas it's taking place like Beast Wars, it's not Optimus Primal, it's the real Optimus Prime.
That's weird.
That's something I'd be all over.
Only if you turn into a bat.
Oh,
There you go. Megatron being an alligator, that's right. Finally bring some meaning to those damn toys, those little basics.
Those are the first two Beast Wars toys I got, and I was so
I remember seeing them.
I got those in a hat.
If you could use the Japanese colors for the alligator and the Bat Primal, the Amazon exclusive, the red and the purple,
I
You
have
know
those. Yeah, those are cool.
yeah.
That was a print I wanted to do for BotCon. Was I wanted to have it was going to be the Batman. It was going to be like a Batman animated series style, and it was going to be the Bat Primal versus the Alligator Megs, and I was going to have him kind of homaging Killer Croc from the animated
That'd be
series.
sweet.
Oh, nice.
I was gonna say,
And then I just never got to it. Maybe for Chicago. I don't know.
I'm gonna do it first.
Oh, no.
No.
All right, I got my Beast Wars time in. You guys can just do whatever you want now. I'm out. No.
Wait, no, you're not done with the Beast Wars yet. What do you think about the comics? Did you read those?
I'm caught up because I buy them in the hard, not the hardcover, the volumes. I mean,
yeah.
So
There's only
I'm
two,
like,
right? Those.
Do what?
There's only two, right? The two Beast Wars series that came out.
Talking
Oh, are you talking about the Ascending and the Gathering? I thought you were talking about
yeah.
Wars characters in like current comics. Oh,
no.
Man, like I liked what they kind of explained. You know, it sort of helped connect Beast Wars Second, Beast Wars Neo, and the American Beast Wars all together. Just with the whole events happening during in a separated universe, and like on Cybertron with like Lyle Convoy and Big Convoy and like their teams. Seeing some of those pre-Earth designs, because I love,
That's also my favorite, yeah.
Yeah, I love Beast Wars that aren't beasts as well. Like that's, something away from the norm.
Really? Now, was this
I like that, and
Wave?
No, this is IDW.
IDW.
Is IDW?
Yeah.
Okay, they did do a Beast Wars. That's right, they did.
Yep,
Just
8
two,
issues.
yeah. And I just like seeing. I basically like seeing Don Figueroa's interpretation of almost any character too. It's just so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Take him.
I love the part that Razor Beast played. Like it went out so tragically and so heroic. It's like because he's crazy. At the very end there.
He was infected, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are some of the pages I got to color. I think I colored like 3 pages, and one of them was a Razor Beast with the I forget what it starts with an A. The amalgam is something
The
like that.
amalgam, yeah, I can't even pronounce it.
Angomoss or whatever. It's like
The A Lot of Angeles.
Unicron's blood or whatever they call it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the pages I got to do. I still haven't read that book. I need to.
It's fun. That's a fun book.
Yeah, I wish they would, because where it left off was where Megatron landed on Cybertron. And it's like the end, or is it, or whatever, and they still haven't quite covered the stuff that happened after Megatron escaped from that little escape pod and landed on Cybertron and then did his virus. I mean, the only thing you really get out of that is from Ape Link's War Journals. It kind of explains the events as they're happening, but not quite how they happened and things like that. So
that reminds me of when Dreamwave was going to do that. That was the teaser they had in the summer special. I think it was. It was.
The Dreamwave special.
Yeah, it was.
I have that somewhere.
That was like Dawn and Espen, and it looked gorgeous. And it was like it was supposed to be the lead up into Beast Machines, and then they died.
Yeah.
It's like all the fun stuff I heard that they were gonna do with with what was it Energon going into Cybertron. Some of the ideas they had were kind of fun.
I really wanted to see this series where they're going to kind of explain the relationship between Optimus and Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, that would be interesting to figure that out. I guess now it doesn't matter anymore, but it would be really. I wanted to kind of do that too, like if figure out if Magnus is like Optimus's kind of father or something, or somehow related. But I always pictured that there was a little guy inside there too, inside the armor.
I want it to be like the
Not that
ambulance
little.
situation now.
Yeah.
Where there's two.
I want animated. No, I want animated to go nuts. I want there to be like 10 Ultra Magnus. They pretend to
Hey,
like
Dakota.
that's the cliffhanger is like, oh no, Ambulon's dead, and then the next episode's a tinier one.
It's a nesting doll.
They wake up, it's all a dream.
Dakota, one quick question. Has it ever been established what was his name before he took on the name Megatron in Beast Wars? What was his name?
I don't think it has. The only thing we've gotten pre Dawn of Futures Past Beast Wars was that little, like, what was a 7-10 minute video or something like that was put together for BotCon 07. And I mean, it's like that's it.
I would say too, if Bob and Larry didn't come up with that name, then I would not accept that name as canon. I'm sorry. But I think they left it. Open for a purpose. It's like it's like knowing too much about Wolverine's origin is not cool. It's better when he's a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind knowing more about Cryotech.
Yeah.
Some of the other characters, or do more of like the Beast Machines Dinobots, like that team.
Dude, they were featured, for like, I think out of the entire universe featuring the Wreckers, 4 panels or something like that. Like, they weren't in it. DevCon talked to him for a little bit, the Oracle talked to him for a little bit, and they got their butts handed to them, and then that was it.
Yeah, Magmatron took on the Dweller.
Yeah.
And all they found was his sword, and then that was it. Like, okay.
The Dweller?
The Dweller from...
Really?
And then I think all that was left was like T-Rex and just a few other.
The Dweller?
Yeah, from the
we're
season
talking
3.
G1 again.
Yeah,
really?
Okay.
Season 3 of
All
the
right,
Dweller.
I was starting to fall asleep. I was talking all this Beast Wars stuff. But,
Josh
I heard
doesn't
the
appreciate
Dweller.
the story, guys.
Yep. The Oracle sent
I
him to
know
this
the
planet that had
Dweller.
these vampire like creatures, and then their leader was the Dweller that popped up, and Magmatron said, "I'll take care of this. You guys escape or get out of here," or something like that. So Megatron has a thing for that. He takes on like even Unicron, the Unicron Galvatron by himself. Doesn't want anyone's help. I could do this.
Magmatron, is that badass?
I mean, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait.
In the IDW comics, who was it that he pulled into, like, pretty much it was Shockeract. He just straight up pulled Shockeract into that little dimension with him, like, no regrets, no cares given.
You need to know what you're doing here, right?
Badass. So was he more badass than Megatron?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
That's losing me again.
Where's Megatron?
What? Which Beast Megatron? Or are we talking G1 Megatron?
No. Beast Wars Megatron.
Yeah, that's a little tougher because Megatron's so cerebral. Although I loved Magmatron's pre-beast mode. God, that was so cool looking. Those treads.
Really?
Yeah, on it.
Yeah, it's
some
really
of these
neat.
designs y'all talking about, I really want to see.
Trent's like,
if you get the trades, they have like Don's sketchbook in the back, and he has he shows his designs for a bunch of guys like Spidor and.
I really wish that they would just put out I mean, I don't think they could do it with Don now. I'm not sure, but I would really like it if they would just do like a big, thick art of IDW artists and just put like all of the sketches in that one book.
I'm begging you, please.
Yeah.
Just separate them.
I
by
would literally throw my money at you if you did that.
I want one. They gave Alex a sketchbook, but it was like a very I forgot what it was, but like it was very, very low print, and you had to retailers had to order this many of some ongoing issue that he did to get it, and it was just I don't want to say it was what's up?
Didn't Alex even have trouble getting it or something too?
Yeah, Alex didn't even get his hands on one. I think he got his hands on one, but he had to go to like one of his comic stores, and probably they had to do a blood pact with the devil or something.
Wait, you talking about Alex Mail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whose art book was it?
It was his art book.
It was his art book, and he had trouble getting his hands on it. What the hell?
That's the kind of stuff that happens.
Wow.
Working for a company.
All right, so getting this on some more '80s goodness.
Yeah, because you about to fall asleep.
Yeah, man, I'm about to be like Charles in that episode last time. Was it last week when we were talking Captain Power, and then you saw Charles like in the corner. Like we had to mute him.
I want someone to take the footage of him sleeping and play the credits to the training videos, the really exciting, and just like him falling asleep.
But we know that you explained to us on Cybercast why, or what you kind of think on the way animated it just kind of ended. Another good show that I don't know how far apart these were, but He-Man came out with another reanimation of theirs, which a lot of people refer to as 2000X.
New Adventures.
No, not new.
Talking about the 2004 He-Man?
Yeah, we're not talking about
The
tight
Space
blue
He-Man?
jeans.
Yeah.
Tight blue jeans He-Man.
Gosh, it's your other favorite thing in the world.
Space He-Man.
My favorite He-Man, in other words.
No, we're talking 2000X He-Man.
That series was a nightmare to work on. I heard because
Really?
because Mattel would be like, okay, you have to put this vehicle and these two characters in this episode, and be like, but the episode's already written, and it's an underwater episode. Why is Stratos underwater or something? It'd be like stuff like that. And they'd be like, no, you have to do it. But that was really hard, I guess. But I hear Mattel was really good with giving everybody toys, which is I don't know if that offsets or not.
I think if you work on a series and it gets a toy line, I think you should get that toy line. That's just me.
Yeah.
Guess what?
That should be like the bonus. Like that's like you get health, dental, and all the figures.
Yeah, please check this box if you want all the toys in the line.
Yeah.
That's like if you do a comic that gets packed in with toys, you should get that toys.
Oh, really? That's crazy. That is not how
handmade toys, Hasbro.
One of those that I'd like to see it finished because that was actually a really good cartoon. Same with the newest Thundercats. I hate that ended because it was really done well.
And I think they did.
Yeah.
I think they were working up to something specific too. They really had that series planned out well. Oh man, that was such a good, beautiful.
And it had such great animation too.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Foresee they did our what do you call them? The big transformation scenes for us, where Starscream would fly in and transform. They did all of our stock transformations like that.
I love that. Just like he came in and just
Isn't that what he does? I'm transforming. Woo!
I got one that I wanted to have that I hope ever gets a resolution. Oh, and I can't believe it ended like that. And the whole premise of the show was kind of a cliffhanger. Samurai
Captain
Jack.
Clone?
That's what they're doing with the comics now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Andy-
Samurai Jack's got a comic by Jim Zub and
Andy Soriano.
Yeah, and Josh Bertram's coloring it.
Yeah, Andy's awesome too. He's a super nice guy and he draws awesome.
Okay, I'll check that out. Thanks.
No, nobody's saying like G.I. Joe Renegades.
G.I. Renegades, oh please.
I was so heartbroken when it was canceled, you guys.
I'd rather see them continued Sigma 6 or something.
I wanted to see a Resolute again. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
It's so sad that Resolute couldn't sell toys because that would be the perfect idea.
The only thing I hated was the way they did. Anybody up in here haven't seen it?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
What?
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
This big spoiler.
What was the spoiler for?
The relationship between Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
There
like
was a
that.
version of that. There's a version of that. The same studio that does our sound did the sound for that, so we get to watch it. There's a version of that with way more blood, where it's like raining blood.
Oh wow.
It's crazy.
It's like
And they had
Kill
to
Bill.
cut it way back.
Yeah, that would have
Yeah,
been
exactly
cool.
like Kill Bill. But even with like because that was for like Xbox or something, and even with their rating system, they had to cut it back, pull it back a little bit.
Because I always liked it. I didn't get into the comics until later, but my friend would always be telling me these stories about, unlike the TV show, things in G.I. Joe wasn't exactly black and white. Like, for example, the reason why Storm Shadow really joined Cobra.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That
there was
was
some cool
interesting.
backstories in that.
Mhm.
Yeah. The
Man, how
Resolute
would
story too, with like Scarlet picking between Duke and Snake Eyes was kind of weird. Like I choose you
Yeah.
and all that, and then
Yeah.
when they're at the the missile silo or whatever, like I'm not gonna leave you. I'll go out, but all that kind of stuff. It was kind of like okay.
Man, I would love for them to do like some sort of a direct-to-DVD animated feature of like Generation 2 Transformers with G.I. Joes, with like the 90s heavy black shadows or something.
That would probably look like Spiral Zone.
Only
Only
gritted teeth.
after they do
Everyone
that.
has gritted teeth.
You mean like G.I. Joe Extreme having black shadows?
Did that have a show? I don't even remember that had a show.
It did, and they
Yeah,
had
it
the
did.
crappiest. They had the crappiest opening.
Did you all
Wow,
should check
imagine
out
that.
TJ Omega, this reviewer named TJ Omega. He did a dissection of that show and he tore it apart. And now looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, I tried to watch it, but I always felt like something's not right with this show. And after listening to him, it was a lot that was not right with that show.
Yeah.
What they need to do is they need to bring back James Bond Jr. is what they need
Oh,
to do.
there you go.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
Is it chasing scum around the world?
Yeah.
I'd like to see Defenders of the Earth. Where they have all their kids.
That was a neat concept, I thought.
Yeah.
It took all
It's
these,
crazy. Like
was it King's Features? What was the comics?
it's like Mandrake the Magician and
Yeah.
the Phantom and
Flash Gordon.
yeah.
And Mandrake. Defenders.
Oh, Mandrake, yeah. That's so weird. This is a weird combo.
And then it's them and then like 4 kids.
Yeah, it's their kids that are getting into trouble and saving them and all that kind of stuff, which was kind of. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah, I didn't know that Mandrake was actually a real comic book character. They picked comic book characters for like a specific era.
I think were they all King's Features characters or?
I don't know who owned it. Mandrake looks like clip art though. He's like clip art of a magician. Like,
For a second there, I actually thought Mandrake was do you guys know DC Comics Zatanna?
Yeah, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was her father at first.
Zatara, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was at first. My bad.
Another
What's
show.
the other guy?
Was
Was it
Young
Lothar? Lothar?
Yeah. Yep.
Lothar of the Hill People.
Lothar, he was like the weapons specialist or something weird.
Yeah, he was. I think he was the assistant to Mandrake. I think in the original King's Features comics.
Okay.
I keep saying King's Features. I don't know if that's it. I'm just saying it now.
Yeah, doesn't King's Features do cartoons?
Yeah, because they
Did
used
they
to.
do comics
They used to
too?
be. They used to be comic strips.
Did they?
Yep.
No, I know they used to be comic strips. But
Flash Gordon, the Phantom, Mandrake.
can you imagine somebody reading a Mandrake comic? Like, I don't know. It's
But I don't. But there wasn't. Yeah, it's King's Features. King's Features Syndicate.
Syndicate, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Man, though, that's nuts.
They should add Rambo into that lineup. I think that'd be perfect.
They should make it like those
Just for
knockoff
no
toys.
reason.
The knockoff toys that have like Shrek and Cars and Lightning McQueen in it for no reason.
So they
With
ride
like
around
Spider-Man and
Lightning McQueen
Superman
thing.
and Batman and Power Ranger.
Yeah.
I have a ton of those Rambo toys back in the 80s.
That's what those into
It's
that.
just weird to have like an R-rated movie, but you get a toy line, but it's based off the cartoon, but it's
Yeah.
loosely based off the movie too.
It's so weird that they did that. They did that with Demolition
Yeah.
Man too. They gave Demolition Man toys, and I don't think that was
Aliens,
I don't think that
Aliens
was
and Predator and Police Academy.
RoboCop.
Yeah. They even made a Commando.
RoboCop.
Oh yeah, RoboCop. Did anyone watch that? He had that. I think it was in the 2000s. He had the show Alpha Commando. Did anyone watch that one? It was weird.
Is that the Canadian one?
I think so.
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
And a RoboCop. He had a cap gun feature.
Yeah.
With the caps in the back.
I had
you
that.
could make them go off, yeah. Or like,
Talk-
you saw that with
Crusader,
Cops too.
like-
Yeah.
Oh, Cops. That's a toy line that needs to come back.
yeah. I wanted to put
Cops
that
and
in
Bionic 6. I would love
Bionic 6. There you go. Bring back the family kind of
Mm-hmm.
mindset. They all fight for each other. They're all diverse.
Did they ever explain what was up with those kids? Did they,
No.
were they adopted?
They had to have been adopted.
Yeah.
They had to be adopted, or there was a lot of previous marriages happening.
Yeah. Come up with better names, like instead of like Mother 1 or Karate 1 or Sport 1 and all that type of stuff.
When I was a kid,
actually-
I thought those. I thought they were supposed to be in the same universe as like the $1 Million Man and
Me
stuff. I don't
too.
think they
Me
were.
too.
But I thought that when I was a
Me
kid.
too. I surely did too. As a matter of fact, I remember watching the episode and I was listening closely just to see if they were going to to see if the father was in fact actually Steve Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Not Steve Rogers, Steve Austin. That was his name.
Yeah.
You weren't the only one.
Yeah. Those toys were great.
Right, there's two of you.
Diecast battle.
Oh, nobody else thought that they were in the same
No,
universe as the $6 million
totally.
Man in Bionic Movie?
It makes total sense.
I liked a lot of those like GI Joe scale toys that were out at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently ran back into Galaxy Warriors. It was a Masters of the Universe knockoff toy line. I don't know if anyone remembers those. They were by Sun Gold.
Yeah. And just remember,
line, but, you know.
back in the 80s, how many play sets, vehicles we got. And look at it now. We got nothing in, but every toy line had, like, vehicles and, I mean, large vehicles and stuff.
Yeah.
Turtles is the only line that I think is still doing that.
Yeah.
They're kind of doing that. Yeah, they have big play
Star
sets.
Wars a little bit, but
Yeah, Star Wars is still doing that.
You get like
Joe's
one or two
no.
vehicles a year.
And
Joe
they
doesn't
even
even barely get figures.
Yeah.
Even now they're getting kind of crazy because I walked in Toys R Us like about a week ago and saw like this X-wing, and only the cockpit doesn't open. I'm like,
oh,
what?
that huge thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
Are you
okay,
kidding?
so and the purpose of this is
Man, I remember the X-wing I had when I was a kid. That thing, it broke up into like 3 or 4 different pieces, and like the cockpit like had little wings that folded out, and it became its own little jet. And then the centerpiece became like a base, and then I can't remember what the back pieces became. But man, that was awesome.
that was an X-wing
What
like
the
that.
hell?
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
90s X-Men, dude, the 90s X-Men toy line.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said X-wing.
Dakota, you
thought
trying to
you
make
were-
it funny.
Yeah.
Man, I miss play sets.
What are you guys talking about? Okay,
We were talking about the X-wing from like Star Wars. That's what we thought you were
We're talking about a
Yeah.
70s movie that came out. It had a great
Then-
toy line,
then-
play sets.
dude, see,
Yeah,
I
you're
automatically
correct.
went to X-Men, and I was thinking of the
The Blackbird.
Yeah.
Blackberry, yeah.
Blackberries, because like I don't know, I've always got that confused. Like X-wing, I don't know.
That
It sounds like
Blackbird.
it should be an X-Men vehicle though. The X-wing.
Yeah, it does.
Did anyone remember Exo Squad? That was a fun
Oh
one,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Exo Squad.
Oh, I loved that toy line. That toy line needs to come back too.
Hmm. Especially with the Robotech stuff that they integrated into
I
it.
was so bummed out that nothing happened with that. I don't know what was supposed to happen.
Exo Squad. Now, see, I used to get that confused up with what's the name of that other show that was like it? Centurions.
Oh yeah, Centurions is great, but yeah, that's totally different.
Okay.
I think Centurions is a toy line that could come back if they do it like kind of like the Hero Factory or something. If they try and do something
Yeah.
like brick related, I think it could come back.
I'd like to see Centurions in more like a 3 3/4 scale to or form.
Oh, that would be nice.
It would be. That'd be a lot of pieces.
I think Centurions would make
I
a
just
good
wanted to hang out
Wyatt
with
system.
G.I. Joes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be cool if they could actually be a part of, just like what they were trying to do in Transformers Prime, saying like Mask was part of, in there with GI, or kind of like the GI Joe theme, throwing some Centurions into that.
Hmm.
That would be cool.
And then they all fight in humanoids. Done.
Yeah. Kirk Armstrong.
I want a new Decompose.
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying
gotta,
that seeing Derrick's Decompose in the background there.
we gotta talk Tom Scioli into drawing us a Decompose.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
I have
pull
to
that
see
together.
The life mission.
I would love to get a new Magnacore. That was him. The one that had the two.
Split in half.
Yeah, because the toy sucked. I mean,
Yeah, it did. And he was such a cool character in the show. But yeah, the toy was like.
Oh, are y'all talking about
Shell.
Inhumanoids now?
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that character. He's the only one that could contain Metlar, and then yet you get the toy and you're like, okay,
Oh.
kind of lame. But yeah, that would be an awesome toy line to come back.
A lot of those toys were kind of weird. Like it was weird how they were like in those giant suits, but then they had like G.I. Joe size heads, and we're like,
Yeah.
This is in scale with G.I. Joe because this is weird.
And they promoted the light piping on the packaging, like, ooh, it's got this cool light piping. So
light piping. I'm a light piping fan. Ever since Dark Side.
Dark Side.
I think that was the first one I had that had light piping.
Yeah, I remember that Dark Side, the Superpowers collection.
That was a nice one.
I remember some of the last figures in that way, and some of the last wave figures in that last wave. One of them was supposed to be like Captain Marvel. I was trying to get that one, never could find him.
No. I was lucky enough to find a Cyborg. That was fun.
Oh, they did do a Cyborg. Okay.
Yeah.
He's on chrome too.
Firestorm. That was cool. Really wanted the mail away Clark Kent.
Yeah, I never got that. That was pretty awesome.
Man, they changed his design, but I really like the way Brainiac used to look back in the '80s, where he just looked completely non-human.
Yeah.
That's such a cool design. Let's go. Do you remember the commercial for the Clark Kent? They had Jimmy Olsen in the movie come out, and it's like, look at this picture, and he's like the Superman.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was really clever.
All right. Well, we've been going on for about an hour, almost an hour and a half. So probably gonna quit right now, but we can talk afterwards and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, we lost Josh already and some other people. So, but thanks everyone for watching, all the live viewers and such. It was great. Thank you again for Derrick and Josh being on the show. Really appreciate it. And talking old school stuff.
I could talk old toys forever.
I know we all could. But I think Hangouts only gives us what, maybe 4, maybe 8 hours worth of time. But if you guys want to shout out where they can find you again, we'll start with Dakota this time since he got it.
Yes. I'm Dakota. You can find me everywhere at Primal Sabbath.
All right. And Derrick?
No, you can't find me.
All right. And Josh?
Which?
You're the only
Just look up Dimooch on anywhere, and I'll probably be there.
Anywhere.com.
Looking after you.
And Torrance?
Trends5 at Twitter and Facebook.
Cool. Jay?
On Twitter at NemesisJazz13.
Golden?
I'm Dylan. You can find me on YouTube at DaltoniansTF Reviews and on Twitter at DaltoniansTF95.
Charles?
I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Optimus4Perez.
And our other Josh that was here is G1 Hexatron. You can find him everywhere except for on Facebook. He is actually the G1 Hexatron. And I'm Victory Saber 77. Find me Twitter, YouTube, and thanks for watching. We will see you guys next week.